problem is it has backfired on them. And now people are getting their quote unquote facts. And what they really should be getting is the truth from the whole of the community. This is what social media did. What social media as a whole did was take the power out of the hands of a few, and they put the power in the hands of everybody. And again, this is not just when it comes to politics. So think about this. You can see these books behind me on the shelf. It used to be 15 years ago, or let's say 20 years ago, if you wanted to write a book, you had to go through a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper is basically a person who decides who gets in and who doesn't get in, like a bouncer at a club is a gatekeeper. So the gatekeeper would decide, okay, we want Dre to write a book. They signed me to a publishing deal. I had to go through them, and the only way I can get my book in a bookstore or on Amazon is I had to go through this gatekeeper who gets to decide whether I am qualified or not to write a book. When self-publishing became a thing, the gates got torn down. They tore the gates down, so now anybody can write a book. Any one of you who's listening to this right now, you can have a book on Amazon within the next week if you wanted to. Why? Because the power got taken out of the hands of a few, the publishers who get to decide who gets to write a book and who doesn't. Now anybody can write a book. Now they are not as relevant as they used to be. Same thing when it comes to radio. If you want to have a radio show, you had to connect with someone who had power at a radio company. They decided, okay, Dre, you can have a radio show. Now we have podcasting. Anybody can start a podcast. So the power is not in the hands of the few decision makers who get to say who gets to have a podcast and who doesn't. Same thing when it comes to TV. TV was bounced out by YouTube. Now anybody can have a quote unquote TV show. All you got to do is turn on your phone and start a YouTube channel. So what social media and the internet period, I guess you can call this Web 2.0, what it did was take the power out of the hands of a few people who get to decide who is okay, who's not okay, who's approved of, who's not approved of. Now everybody can approve of themselves. Even though, the funny thing is, even though this is the reality, a lot of people, some of you who are listening to this right here, a lot of people still behave as if you need somebody else's approval. Now, I happen to be an entrepreneur, not only in fact, but also an entrepreneur at heart. And I understand this, and I don't wait for anybody's approval to do anything that I want to do. And I encourage other people to think this exact same way, because in the world that we're in now, 2025, you don't need anybody's approval to do what you want to do. You don't need anyone's approval to start a radio show, a TV show, write a book, or anything else you want to do. You can pretty much do anything that you want to do. You can start making money right now with no money down on the internet. Again, 25, 30 years ago, your parents couldn't do that, to just start a business from nowhere, from their couch.